Sometimes I feel like I'm a monkey performing in a circus, because it's the whole time it's like, look at me, look at my channel, remember me, I'm here, I'm still here. Being on YouTube for the 3 years that I have been, although I still haven't earned a cent in my bank account, the money is gathering in the account, but I mean, it's $30, it's not a lot. So I'm actually out of pocket because I've bought lights, I've bought the camera thing. But I do love being on YouTube. However, there is a negative side, a yucky side, a side that not many people talk about. So today I thought I would share with you the darker side of being a YouTuber. It's not all bad. Obviously, I wouldn't be doing it if it was all bad, but there is a side to YouTube where it's not all sunshine and roses. It can be, and it can be a lot of fun, but there's also that side of, okay, let me just speak for myself. Obviously, I can only speak for myself, but there is that side where you feel like you've got to compete, you have to compete. And that feeling of competing with other YouTubers, popular YouTubers, other YouTubers of your age, in your genre, in your field, or whatever that may be, you suddenly start to look at them, compare yourself, and then your voice, or at least for me, I tend to lose my authentic voice because now I'm looking to see what they're doing and can I do something similar or can I do it better? And it's such a fine line between doing that to try and improve yourself and pick up genuine tips, genuine improvements, and losing yourself. So there's that. There's also the very clickbaity nature of so many titles out there that, and they do, and unfortunately it works. And so that makes me question whether I should be more clickbaity, but my values, my gut instinct tells me not to be. There's also the thumbnails, which if you watch a lot of how-tos, how to improve your thumbnails, what makes a good thumbnail, you do learn. You pick up tips, and again, there is the picking up of tips, which can help you, and then there is that where you're going too clickbaity with your thumbnails as well, or too over the top, or too gaudy or bright, or I mean, there was a stage when I was doing a lot of like faces, because they said you need these expressive faces in your thumbnails. And now I'm trying to just put my face with a very normal expression. But again, I have to think, it's like it gets me questioning everything. And then I double question and triple question everything. And that is the dark side of YouTube, where I feel I just lose that genuine authenticity that I have, where I just want to share information, valuable information with ladies. I want to share from my heart, my soul, which is saying, I'm struggling to love myself, therefore I know you're struggling to love yourself. And I want to share that journey with you because I think we can help each other. And then I lose all of that and all of this, how to get more views, how to get seen, how to get watched, how to be snappy, how to be clickbaity, how to be, because if no one clicks on your videos, unfortunately, it does tend to make me at least feel flat, because I put in heart and soul. I put in, my videos are a reflection, or mostly. Sometimes I get it wrong, and sometimes I make videos that are too much like other YouTubers, or I try a different style, or a style of presenting where it might not be me exactly, it might not be authentic to me. And so there is that dark side where you're always questioning yourself, you're always looking at what other YouTubers are doing. And as they say, it's a cliche, but it's true. And I often say cliches are cliches for a reason. But as they say, comparison is the thief of joy. And so if I'm sitting comparing myself, my content, what I have to say to other YouTubers, to other women over 40, to 50-year-old women, they have a whole different vibe going on. But if I'm sitting there comparing, and maybe she's got 1 million subscribers and I've only got only, I'm grateful to each and every one of you. So it's not, I never ever think only, but when you compare yourself, you think only. If I think, well, I've only got 1,000 and so subscribers, it deflates you. It takes the wind out of your sails sometimes. Or you see somebody else growing so much faster and you think, but Jesus, their content is so shallow. It can deflate you. Or I look at channels that have meaning and value, and they're not doing well. And then you look at the channels that are very like popish, sugary, fluffy, and that's fine. Everything has a place. I'm not knocking any other channel, but you look at that and you think, oh, they're doing so well, and is that what people want? So sometimes that is also the dark side of YouTube, where I feel I see what's doing well, I see what's doing popular, and I don't want to say I lose faith in humanity, but sometimes I lose faith in humanity when I see what people are clicking on. So yeah. So I had I wouldn't say an awakening. I mean, I go through these moments over and over again. But I just had that feeling that because I've done Ali Abdal's YouTube course, the problem with that course, it's a fantastic course, but the problem there lies in the fact that his advice is obviously from his journey, his experience, but it's generic advice to everyone. And if everyone followed that advice, and I have actually seen this happen, there are so many YouTube channels that are starting to look like his channel, sound like his channel. I mean, he's got advice in terms of a YouTube background saying you need a plant and a light and books in the background or certain things. And so many YouTubers have got some glowing light, some plant or fairy lights in the background. And that's fine. But you start to see a copycat formula on YouTube, a generic thing. Or the other advice you get told is to make those first 60 seconds like super, super interesting, change the frame every second or two. And that's fine as well. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that advice, but it doesn't apply to all genres of YouTube. It applies to certain styles, certain kinds of channels. But upon reflection, I mean, I have tried to do some of my intros that are a bit more fast, snappy, engaging. And yet, again, it boils down to the fact that it's not true to me and it's not the type of content that I always want to watch. I actually don't enjoy a lot of the content or a lot of the style of content that he's talking about. He's aiming it more at younger YouTubers. And there's a lot of younger YouTubers who are doing those kinds of things. There's also, they tell you to use a hook. So you've got to hook your viewer within the first 10 seconds or whatever. I mean, isn't that what the title and the thumbnail are for? So now we've got to try extra hard to try and hook people in. And sometimes all of that exhausts me before I even begin. And that is the yucky part, the part that I really dislike, is that I may say, okay, I want to talk about how I've come to accept my aging face somewhat. I mean, it's always a journey, it's always a process. Okay, that is the theme. Let's say I'm going to talk about accepting my aging face, or the battle, the struggle to accept aging in general, whatever it may be. But then you think, Jesus, now I've got to have a snappy intro with a whole lot of moving frames, but that doesn't really gel with my style, who I am, how I am in the world, and it doesn't gel with maybe the topic, because maybe the topic is, I would like to present it in a way where it's just me having a chat with you ladies, which is the style I love. That is the style I love the most, is this informal, relaxed chat with you ladies. What Ali Abdal calls a coffee chat. But that coffee chat style, in my mind, doesn't go with a very clickbaity title. It doesn't go with a super hyped up thumbnail. And yeah, sometimes it gets me down. It gets me down that genuine, real, authentic content does tend to get lost on YouTube, unfortunately. Not always, but a lot of the time it does get lost. Whew. Now, drinking coffee and getting a bit hot because I'm in perimenopause. And so I still have this like hot flushes and night sweats and all that kind of now and then. So, true to my channel, perimenopause. Whew, okay, now, another part of like the yucky side is that every successful YouTuber says to you that you need a product. You've got to sell something off of YouTube, outside of YouTube. You're using your YouTube channel to build an audience, and they all tell you, build an email list, build an email list. You've got to get your customers, you've got to be able to contact them directly. And I think, but really? So I don't know if this is just me. Maybe you can share your thoughts, but I personally hate email marketing. I hate being emailed, spammed by these YouTubers. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with making money. Is my mic up? And we all need to make money. I get that. But what gets to me is when they sell you like a free little mini PDF course, whatever it is, something free, just to get your email address, and then they spam you daily. Like as a test, I signed up with another YouTuber, Jeremy Etier, I think it is. He's got a fantastic channel, lots of good advice. I got daily spam emails, so it's like, who wants that? To me, that is off-putting, and it's the reason why I don't want to build an email list, is because I don't want to bug somebody. So I do know if I ever did it, which I see, that's the other thing is, I feel like nowadays it's not enough to just be on YouTube and enjoy making a little bit of ad revenue, which I would be happy with if it could pay the bills, and hopefully it can. But now you get this forceful push, like you can't just do ad revenue. You need a product, you need an email list, you need a marketing list, you've got to sell a course, a book, a song, a movie, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, some physical product, merch. And I'm not a natural born pushy salesperson. Personally, if I ever sold something, I could only do it if I ever believed in it. So what was it? How many years ago now? I was 25, so that's 20 years ago. Jesus, time flies. 20 years ago, I used to work as a saleswoman in a high-end jewelry store, which it's crazy to me to think that I did that as a living for a job, and I actually enjoyed it. But the reason is because I did it in my way, where I sold the products by being very honest and understated, as in it's a high quality product, which it was beautiful, high quality jewelry. And it was just like, this is the product. We offer what did we offer? A lifetime guarantee. And that was it. I never forced, I never pushed, I never harassed. And my gut feeling is that a lot of people respond better to that kind of salesperson, honest, understated, non-pushy, than they do to these pushy salespeople. I mean, I don't know about you, but how many of you actually hate salespeople? And in fact, it makes your stomach clutch when you walk into a store and there are all the salespeople lying in wait. Now, I like it when a salesperson just offers their help. If you need any assistance, I'm here. And I say, that is wonderful. Thank you. Because sometimes you do need assistance. You do want to ask a question. You do want to know something about a product. And so I always felt that my role was as an information and a helper, like an informational helper to these people. I'm there to help you with anything you need help with, but you ultimately make up your mind. It used to sit very badly with me to try and push people, because I used to think, we're selling expensive jewelry. What if that person actually cannot afford it and they get pushed into a purchase that they shouldn't be buying? So I remember, like, my morals were so, they were like shouting at me the whole time. So I never pushed anyone into any sale, which made me not the best. I hit top salesperson, I think twice, whatever, out of 2.5 years that I was there. But that's fine. I didn't care about being the top salesperson. I cared about doing the job well and in my way with integrity, and being an employee that the managers and bosses could rely on. That's kind of who I am, and that's how I am. And so again, with YouTube, I'm also glad that my journey was a slow one to monetization, because I remember in the beginning when I restarted my channel in December of 2019, because I'd started, then let it lie dormant, and I deleted a whole lot of videos, sadly. I remember when I restarted, it was me just thinking, you know what, I'm just going to see if I can even upkeep constantly uploading. If I can do this for a year, then I know that this is something to pursue. And lo and behold, here I am 3 years later, almost 4. So I've proven to myself and I've proven to you guys that I am consistent and I do upload regularly. I don't stick to a schedule because, again, I feel that content must come from within. And this is also the yucky, the dark side of YouTube, where they tell you in order to be successful, you need to be consistent to a schedule. And I get it, and I get why. So if you are just putting out dry information like tutorials, you're teaching people something, that's fine. But for me, sometimes I need to do it from the heart, and then it's got to flow from something inside of me. And then if I force myself, I feel like it will be forced. And so, I mean, I upload very regularly, but sometimes I have to honor myself and take a break. And it's kind of like, again, the dark side. YouTube doesn't allow for that, because if you do that, your channel does die. It dies. Why does it die? So, yeah, with social media, and I mean, personally, I hate TikTok, but again, the advice is to go on TikTok to grow a following so that you've got followings on multiple platforms. And it's just, I get it. And social media is a tool, it's a vehicle. It is not the evil in and of itself, but it's the way that people use it, and it's the way that the growth happens that I find yucky. And the fact that it's the pushy, bullshy, in your face people that do so well, it sometimes it gets me down. Not always. Often I'm like, you know what, I'm here, I'm a champion, I'm a warrior for the normal people. And that's what I want to be on YouTube, is a champion for, number one, perimenopausal and menopausal women, because we are like the future. That is, we are the strength of the world. Number one, I think women are the strength of the world. I mean, men are vital, but women have that emotional something. Like, as I said, I came to the realization by watching Menopause Taylor that I am going to be menopausal for a third or more of my life. And that is, wow, okay. Like, I'd never thought of that before. I had never thought of that until I started having symptoms. And so, and we're a sector of society that once we become menopausal, we do get ignored in general. We get kind of like, you know, just shush, you're an old lady now. But I say no. I say no. I say we still have a voice, we still have value, we still have things to do that we want to do. And there is a gift that can come with perimenopause and menopause. I'm still discovering that gift for myself and in myself. I don't know what, no, I do. I think I do know what the gift is. The gift is getting to your true self, starting to say no, learning to honor yourself. There's so many gifts hidden in perimenopause and menopause, but that's a whole separate video. But that was the seed for me to reawaken and reignite this channel. Was I just knew that there's something that I need to give to women. I want to give you that self-belief. And I find that with YouTube, sometimes I get lost. I get lost in the noise of, yeah, you've got to write, you've always got to pre-plan like 20 titles in advance, and you've got to go through them, and which one are you most likely to click on, the most dramatic, the most, you've got to ignite fear or shock or awe or curiosity or something in people. And honestly, that's not the kind of content that I resonate with. I see all that out there and I'm like, oh my God, it's just, and when you sort of now go behind the scenes of what YouTubers do, as I have, by trying to learn more about YouTube, trying to learn more about being a YouTuber, going through Ali Abdal's course, again, you think, Jesus, it's all just showmanship. It's all just salesmanship, actually. That is the word. It's salesmanship. And it gets me down, because here I thought these people were on YouTube for a good reason, for a good cause. And they probably all started out with a good, like a dream of, like me, having freedom and flexibility. And yet now it's become a, how do we grow? How do we make more money? How do we reach more people? Sales. And again, I have to be careful how I say that. It's not that I don't want people to make money. I'm glad they are making money. And often they have good products and good courses. It's not that they don't. But the pushy sales part, I think that's really what gets me down about YouTube. And there's another side, is that it does get a bit lonely. You're sitting in your room, in your house, whatever it is, talking to yourself basically. Although I'm talking to you, the viewer who's watching now. But of course, without you right here in front of me, I'm imagining who I'm talking to, and I'm hoping that I'm coming across in the right way and that you're picking up my vibe. But sometimes I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if it's coming across right. And so, yeah, it can do a number on your head sometimes. And I just need to get back to basics, back to myself. And you see, like, even to now, I'm thinking, shit, I've worn this shirt already in a video before. I need to not wear the same clothes twice. I need to, all this, I should, I must. It's like anywhere in life and all of life. But on YouTube, it has its own set of difficulties and things that are not so nice. Sometimes, now that I'm trying to do YouTube as a job, reinventing myself, as I said in that video, reinventing myself at 45, sometimes I feel like I'm a monkey performing in a circus, because it's the whole time is like, look at me, look at my channel, remember me, I'm here, I'm still here. Because what you find is that if you're not always putting out new content, your old stuff does tend to, people don't want to watch old stuff anymore. It's become now the new, the new, the new. So you're thinking all the time, what can I put out? What can I put out? What can I say? What am I going to say? And that does tend to drive this feeling of I'm a performing monkey, and I really don't like that. And sometimes I fall for it and I do it, and other times I put out something that I'm proud of. And I think every YouTuber feels this way sometimes. Every YouTuber must battle with this, where you feel like a performing circus monkey, and at other times you probably are so proud of your creation and your content. So it's interesting. It really is interesting. And I just wanted you to be aware that if you were thinking of being a YouTuber, or maybe you are a YouTuber watching me, whether you resonate with any of this, whether any of this sounds familiar, I don't know. But if you are thinking of being a YouTuber, just be aware that it isn't always easy and it isn't always fun. And like anything, like any job, anything you do all the time, it has its good and its bad. There's two sides to every coin, yin and yang, all that blah, blah, blah. But it's still something that I am finding great joy in. The biggest joy I get is when somebody comments saying, thank you for putting that out there, or I get a new subscriber, or somebody resonated with something I said. And thank you to all of you who have left comments. I read each and every one. Sometimes I don't know why the YouTube apps on my phone hide comments, so I don't always see them. But I read each and every one that I can see, and I do scroll through the different, like the YouTube Studio app and the YouTube app, and on the PC. So I value and I treasure, sorry, I'm trying not to hit my microphone. I value and I treasure every single comment, every little bit of support and love. It really does mean the world to me, because if I can just make enough to live from ad revenue, that for me would be the dream come true, because I don't want to be forced into creating some kind of product or having to go and get another job and then leave YouTube. If I ever do sell anything, it would be something that came organically from me, that I really believed in. But I don't have any premeditated reason to be on YouTube, no sales reason. And I'm not trying to build a following just to have a following. I'm actually trying to offer something so that women feel like, yes, they can get help, they can feel better in perimenopause, and they can feel good about themselves. That's really it. I mean, that's it. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.